Hey, what's up guys? This is Church of Caboose, and for today's Destiny 2 video, I thought we would do part 2 of the 2-part series, the Destiny Content Vault, What is Going Away. I'll have a card for the first part, part 1, at the end of the video, so if you guys aren't sure broadly what is going away, as well as kind of the review I have and general thoughts on the content vaulting as a whole, feel free to check that out. I'll have the card at the end of the video just to make it a little bit easier to find that video, although I'm sure it'll pop up on the suggested videos by me at the end of the video. Also, part 2 is going to be more nitty-gritty. Now, there's going to be some things that I just have broader opinions on, but there are going to be a couple of things where I'm like, okay, this specific thing is going away. Here's what I think about it, and that's going to be this part 2 video to kind of let you guys get to know more about me, what I like of Destiny, and there's going to be some community kinds of stuff as far as a whole, people either don't like or do like that this is going away. That will be in there as well. Now, if you do enjoy the video, make sure you click that like button, and I would also love to hear your guys' thoughts on what is going away. You could be agreeing with me, critiquing something. I'm like, oh, when you said blah, 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 here's what I think, and then put in your explanation. Whatever, I just want to know what you guys think about what's going away and how you guys feel about it. If you also enjoy my content, make sure to click that subscribe button. I am hoping to hit 500 subscribers by the end of October. So that's a kind of a goal of mine for the next 2 months as we grow together as a Church and Friends community. Also, I'm doing a trials giveaway, so make sure you do subscribe to the channel and then join my Church and Friends Discord. There is a link for that channel down below. If you guys if it doesn't work for some reason, let me know in the comments and I'll give you guys a fresh invite to Church and Friends. You have to be in there in order to get some help inside of Trials of Osiris. Alright, so now let's go ahead and get on into this video. Part 2, Destiny Content Vault, what is going away, I guess in specific detail. Now, I thought we would start this video off by talking about the activities specifically that are going away first. So we're going to kick off with, I guess, these activities. So, besides the Crucible stuff getting altered, we'll get to that later. The Nightfall was going to be, which was turned into Nightfall the Ordeal. We have 2 different Nightfalls. You got the Ordeal, and then you got still the Nightfall option. The Nightfall playlist is going away, so the only Nightfall we will have is Nightfall the Ordeal. Now, I can't say I care a whole lot about that. Usually the Nightfalls are used to try and get that Nightfall-specific loot, such as Mindbenders and Braytech Osprey rocket launcher. But that's really was about the only purpose they were serving. They did help a little bit with some different bounty farmings and such of that. So I can't say I care a whole lot about switching to the Ordeal. My bigger beef with the Ordeal is the champion. So we're going to go ahead and move on now to the next one. Niobe Labs is going away. Can't say I care. I never bothered to actually do it, and I can't say I really am bothered to do it now, so whatever. We also are losing the Menagerie. The Menagerie is going to be quite a oof to me and the community. A lot of us were using the Menagerie as places to farm for things like Catalyst, as well as a great opportunity to get loot that you need. So if you're missing a gauntlet, for example, then you could maybe farm and put in the right chalice code and get a gauntlet, as well as farm as for some other amazing weapons such as Beloved. However, Beloved's getting sunset, and since we all know about that, I'm not sure that it's like the worst activity they could have pulled from Destiny, but I'm still gonna miss the Menagerie. It's a fun place to be at. Speaking of Menagerie, we're gonna also lose the Tribute Hall, which really is not good. The Tribute Hall helped a lot of folks test out damage, DPS capabilities, as well as just see what kind of weapons they liked and be able to test out things pretty much infinitely due to how the Tribute Hall is set up. I believe there's some different YouTubers who would do math and calculations, and they had an easier time doing all of that because of the Tribute Hall. So this is actually a nice blow. I do know there's been many people asking, are we going to get some kind of a new version of the Tribute Hall, so we can kind of keep trying to use that thing for our benefit, but Bungie, to my knowledge, has not responded. I personally mostly use the Tribute Hall to stock up on ammo before I go into doing something difficult, such as a solo prophecy dungeon or something of that nature. So speaking of prophecy, the prophecy dungeon is going to go away temporarily. Bungie says it will return in a future update, so if I don't manage to get my solo flawless done or my solo clear of that dungeon, I'll miss it for a little bit, but hey, I'll also not feel as guilty about not spending time working on it because hey, it won't be an option. We're going to also be missing out here on the Reckoning, which I don't care. Good riddance. See ya. Escalation Protocol. That one is, oh man. I like the Escalation Protocol. It's a fun activity. It was one of the original public event horde mode type things, and I just really liked it. It worked really well for farming for catalysts. It was a really good place to be for folks who don't have tons of time to finish things efficiently. I have to wonder if that is at all why they chose Mars to go away, but we'll get into destinations later. We're also going to lose Gambit Prime, but not as in it's going to no longer exist. Gambit Prime is going to be merged with Gambits in some kind of like a new mode. A popular theory is going to be called Gambits Perfected, but however it changes, it will change and won't be the Gambits and Gambits Prime as we know it, because Gambit is going away completely, but the one round model from Gambits Prime is staying around. We're going to also lose the Black Armory Forges. I do not care about that. We're going to lose 0 Hour and the Whisper. Now those are two missions that rewarded you an exotic weapon, as well as had options to run it for the quests, or the catalyst for the Outbreak Perfected and 0 Hour, and the catalyst for the Whisper inside of the Whisper mission. Those are those are really cool areas. They're like a mini dungeon. They have lots of secrets. There is lore. They're really cool. I'm really bummed they're going away, but also I get it. Most people by now probably have those weapons that they have to delete stuff. I kind of get why they would delete those two things, but I'm still sad. They're really cool missions, and hopefully you guys all are able to get Outbreak Perfected and the Catalyst, as well as Whisper and the Catalyst done. Now make sure you guys keep in mind, whenever there's a Catalyst tied to something that's going away, you have to have the Catalyst finished before Beyond Light drops, because then you won't be able to finish the Catalyst and you'll just have the weapon, and that'd be a whole lot of work to get to 99% and then just have it go away and you can't finish it and you're just out of luck. So make sure you guys get those done. We're going to also lose some various Crucible game modes, such as Supremacy, Countdown, Lockdown, Breakthrough, Doubles, Momentum Control, and Scorched. Now, I can't say I care at all about Supremacy, Countdown, Lockdown, Breakthrough, or Scorched going away. Doubles was a really cool thing. I thought that was a really nice idea. It was a lot easier to find teammates, and I personally usually have more fun in doubles than I do in 3v3, so I'm kind of bummed that that's going away. I'm also not a huge fan of losing momentum control, because for folks like my wife who don't like PvP and struggle with it, quests that make you get weapons with certain energy types are much easier to get kills inside of Crucible and momentum control, because weapons do insane more damage, and so it's going to kind of hurt folks that really rely on momentum control to get their Crucible energy type weapons kills done, so that kind of bums me out a little bit. So that kind of does it as far as those, like, I guess, very basic level activities go. We'll get into raids later, but right now, we're going to talk about destinations. We're going to lose Mercury, Mars, Titan, Io, the Farm, and the Leviathan. I want to really, really miss Mars because Escalation Protocol is on Mars. The rest of it, I honestly don't care. Mercury, you can go screw yourself. That whole Infinite Forest thing is a terrible, terrible idea. In that public event, that's the only public event that spawns like once every half hour or something like that. It's just a waste of space and a time suck planet to try and do stuff on. So good riddance, Mercury. Don't let the door kick you on your way out. Now, Titan and Io, I'm a little like, can't say I really care, but I'm not like, yeah, woohoo, like I am for Mercury. Mercury is a little special thing. Now, I am kind of bummed about the farm. Azatros had a great idea there. He was like, hey, Bungie, you guys are making this more of an MMORPG thing. One huge thing you're missing is a giant social space where you could have like 100 to 200 people in the same area and LFG inside that area, and he suggested the farm for being why. I'll try to remember to put a link for that video in the description box, but if not, just go to Azatros's channel. It was posted within the last month or so, I believe, so it shouldn't be super hard for you guys to find. And then the Leviathan, that's going away, and that holds all of the raids. Also, the reason we're losing Scourge of the Past is because of the farm. But speaking of the Leviathan, let's go and talk about the raids. And we are getting close there to being done. We'll end it with strikes. So for Leviathan, we're going to be losing the regular and prestige version of Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, and Spire of Stars. Now we're going to also lose Crown of Sorrows, but there's not a prestige version, which is why I separated it out a little bit. This means we're going to be missing out on the Legend of Acreus Anarchy, and Taraba. So make sure you guys do your best to get those weapons if you haven't already. They also made it where those catalysts, the for Sleeper and Telesto, I believe those are the only two catalysts. I know that the Legend of Accurus catalyst is tied to it as well, but it might be a quest. Let me know if I'm wrong. So you guys are being able to get a chance at a reward, and if those catalysts are possible from that encounter, you can just farm that encounter over and over and over. So I do plan at some point going into Spire of Stars Prestige, just doing that first counter over and over and over until I get the Sleeper catalyst. Hopefully I'll be able to pull that off. But if you guys are missing that stuff and you care about getting those catalysts and weapons, make sure you guys get on into those raids. And I am rather bummed that they're going away. Those raids are rather cool. They're pretty fun to still do. I know most people don't do these raids anymore because they haven't been relevant for a long time. And I am grateful that Bungie made it where you have increased chances of those exotics and the catalysts dropping for every encounter completion or raid completion. That's nice of them, but still, like, come on, guys. You're getting rid of raids that have some of the best exotic catalysts and some of the coolest moments in the whole game. And we're only replacing them with VOG and whatever the new raid will be. So we're going to lose like 9 raids if you count the regular and prestige as like the same thing. And we're getting in 2, and one of them was from Destiny 1. So I'm kind of like, come on, y'all. This bums me out. The Leviathan was a great place to farm for catalysts because you just go to the Castellium and kill lots of stuff. In fact, I did that for Solstice of Heroes armor. And I'm just going to miss those raids. And I feel kind of pressured to get that stuff done. Although now that we have till November, I'm not as pressured. So hopefully I can get that stuff done. Scourge of the Past is also really cool. It's the only raid inside of the city. And I believe it's the only Fallen focused raid that we have at this point, if memory is serving me correctly. And I'm just kind of sad it's going away. It was a short raid. It made really easy to try and help folks. If someone was like, hey, I've never done Scourge of the Past before, it was one of the easier raids to help carry even as many as 3 people through it. So it's kind of a bummer. It really helped keep new players like, yeah, I can do a raid without the normal like 6 to 8 hours like Last Wish, and without having to have most of the team knowing what they're doing. You can kind of get through it with just 3 people. So I'm going to really miss Scourge of the Past. There's a great way of getting those new players more engaged into the end game. Now we're going to talk just a little bit about strikes because I really don't give a shit about Gambit maps or Crucible maps going away. I'm just glad they kept the Javelin 4, and I honestly don't understand what was the point of getting rid of Emperor's Respite. It's been gone for a while, so I'm just kind of confused as far as what they're doing with that one map. But overall, whatever, don't give a shit. All right, so strikes. We're going to lose the Pyramidion. That's kind of a bummer. That was a cool strike. There was some fun banter between Asher and the Vanguard folks. Like, there's not a lake, or there's not like a valley or whatever. It's a lake. And you're like, no, it's not a lake. He's like, it's a lake. Like, no, it's not, you dummy. And he's like, it's a lake. So that was kind of fun with that one strike. We're going to lose the Festering Core. You know what? I have the same feelings with the Festering Core as I do for Mercury. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. My least favorite strike. Whenever it came up in the strike playlist, it's like, nope, and left. It was a stupid week to do for Grandmaster Nightfalls because the only people, to my knowledge, that were beating it were cheating by using the contact event. It's just a dumb one. Sabathun's Song. I kind of actually really like that one. This probably means that Thorn is going away. So make sure you guys are getting the Thorn acquired because Sabathun's Song is a strike you have to do at a special version in order to get the Thorn. So I guess Thorn is going to go away as well. I'm just guessing. Then we got Strange Terrain, which is on Mars. I really enjoyed that one. It was just fast and fun. I like things that are fast. I'm all about efficiency on this channel. Will of the Thousand, same thing as Strange Terrain. Tree of Probabilities. I actually like that one. That's a shorter one on Mercury. It's easy to one phase the boss. And then the Garden World, I can't say I care a whole lot about a Garden World going away. It was a little bit longer, but not the longest. All right, so for general on strikes, I'm actually a little miffed because one, I wanted the Corrupted to be on there. I don't know many people that are like, yay, it's the Corrupted. My wife is one of them. I'm just saying, I don't know many people, and I've seen videos where they're like, oh my gosh, why couldn't the Corrupted be on there? But my main beef is that we originally had however many strikes we had, and now we're taking away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're getting 2. So we're going to have more of the strikes we don't like or have played thousands of times. with less variety. So instead of having like, I don't know, I'm not sure how many strikes it is. It might be like 15 to 20. We're going to have like half of that. And so things like the corrupted are going to pop up more often. And it'll be kind of cool because, you know, some of those old strikes that are coming back from Destiny 1 are coming to Destiny 2. Like, oh, yay, this is cool. And then, like, after 4 completions of it, we're like, oh, my gosh, it's coming back up again. So hopefully we get some variety added to strikes. I can see strikes just completely dying off. And knowing Bungie, though, we're going to have some kind of a quest where it's like, do 1,000 fucking strikes. And we're going to be like, oh my gosh, we get the same 2 strikes over and over, banging our heads into a wall. And then Bungie's going to be sitting there laughing like, ha 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 ha. We did this to you and you paid for it. So that's how I see strikes going. Hopefully they add in a lot of strikes rather quickly, but only time will tell on that. So overall, like, I'm not too upset by most of the stuff that's going away, as you kind of heard. I'm more just worried that the things we don't like, a lot of them stayed in, like the corrupted. So we're going to have to play them more often. I'm worried that we're not going to get enough new content. I talked a little bit more in the video that the card will be showing up here probably pretty shortly, so make sure you guys check that out. Overall, I'm like, you know what? Good riddance, don't care. My main beef is they're taking away so many strikes, and then we are losing one of our best ways of farming weapons. And finally, I really hope those catalysts for those, like the Sleeper and Telesto, get resourced. So that way it's just like, well, guess you'll never get the catalyst, because I know there's going to be somebody, it may not be me, because who knows if I'll actually try hard or not, but there's going to be somebody who does this thing all the way up until like the last second before Beyond Light drops and does not get the catalyst. And you'll be like, I got 100 clears, how did I not get the catalyst? And that would be amazing, but that's going to happen to somebody. So I really hope we get those catalysts sourced elsewhere. As far as the exotic weapons themselves, Acreus is a quest, Sleeper Stimulant is a quest, and Telesto is RNG, and so you'll probably just get it eventually or go to Zur and buy it from him. So I can't imagine that people, if they want those 2 exotics that are quests, they're like, oh no, I didn't get it. Sucker for me. But the RNG stuff will still be around. Telesto's not going anywhere. Then we also, guys, we are losing several exotics. So the Polaris Lance should go away with Mars. Anything that's a quest, story mission, campaign, exotic, whatever, will go away with that destination. The only reason that's not true with Crucible maps is because they're stored on some kind of a different system, which means that just because that planet goes away, it doesn't mean that the map does, although that will be kind of weird if we're playing through Crucible. Like, wait, this is on Mars. How did we get there? I thought I got blown up. So that could be a little bit confusing if that comes up. But overall, don't care what's going away. I just hope we get some new sources of trying to get that stuff. And I am really sad that our best sources of farming on the Castellium and Escalation Protocol are donezo. But Gambit, it was fun while you were here. Can't say unless there's a new title, I'll do a whole lot of playing, yeah, so I'm glad you're getting modified some way. Alright guys, let me know down below what you think. If you are like me and you really just don't care about most of the stuff that's going away. I know Bungie did some work to try and figure out, for example, they did some work to see how many people were spending time in the Warmind campaign and that kind of content, and found of all time played, it was like 0.3% was spent there. So I'm sure some of the stuff we're getting rid of is like, hey, no one's playing it, so we're gonna get rid of it, which makes you sad about raids, because typically only about 10% of the population goes into raids, which could be why so many of them are going away. It probably frees up tons and tons of space, which would ultimately mean less bugs. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.